Locked on Syracuse is back, and we have a little bit of a game. We're going shopping here on Locked on Syracuse, building our best starting fives with a $15 budget. Brad Klein, Matt Bonaparte, we're back at it again right here on Locked on Syracuse. Let's do it.
Are Locked on Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Monday morning, and no better way to celebrate than a Locked on Syracuse episode. He's Matt Bonaparte. I'm Brad Klein. We are both very, very happy to be with you. It was a long weekend, and we were not game. But hey, we're here, and we're talking about a little bit of memory lane stuff in the spirit of Boeheim's Army being back, the basketball tournament being around the corner, and nostalgia in the air all summer long. We're going shopping. The budget is $15. Bones, throw up the graphic for our YouTube viewers. And if you're listening on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, we will put this on social media. We'll put it on our own accounts and on our Twitter for the show at LO_Syracuse. You know how this works. This was a trend from a few years ago, but just like me, classic Brad, I'm behind on all the trends. $15, $5 through $1 categories, and we're going to pick our starting fives.
I'm pumped, Brad. There's so many different ways that you can go and create a great team. Kind of a testament to Syracuse's program. And some great names here along the list. And Brad and I kind of all day today were deliberating back and forth on who's better, who should go above who. So there's a lot of thought that went into this.
I bet you my team beats yours. And by the
No
way,
shot.
BetOnline is the sponsor for today's episode. And BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline is where the game starts. And I bet you we're going to get a lot of interaction on Twitter. Again, the Twitter is at LO_Syracuse. Tweet at us. Let us know how Bones went wrong and how we can improve on our teams. Again, the budget is $15. No exceptions. Bones, we're going to start with the point guard. Who are you going to take?
So you want me to do my team first?
Let's just start with the point guard. Yeah, we're going to go. We'll just draft.
Oh, you want to
by
go
position?
draft?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do that.
Okay, so the point guard I'm going with here, I'm going for the value pick.
Yep.
There's a couple really good value picks here. You know, the point guard position, as Brad and I found out today while we were doing this, is incredibly deep. I mean, to have Pearl Washington be your $3 option is kind of bonkers. But it was either him or Dave Bing. I mean, what were we going to do? So I'm going to go all the way down to the $1 option here. I'm taking Michael Carter-Williams, who is arguably the greatest defender at the top of the zone that there ever was. Is he a shooting liability? He could be. But the guy is a clamp on defense, and he was a leader on a great team.
I'm shocked. I am absolutely shocked. I thought for sure when you said value pick, you're going to go with Pearl Washington because that's a guy who has the talent to be maybe a $5 player, just got stuck behind some unbelievable players in Sherman Douglas as the $5 offer and Dave Bing as the $4 offer. So if you're listening and not watching, the point guard lineup is Sherman Douglas as the most expensive point guard, $5. Dave Bing, $4 point guard. Pearl Washington is the $3 point guard. He's my choice. I think that's the value. Johnny Flynn, $2. Michael Carter-Williams is $1 because Bones is working on a tight budget here, apparently, stocking up for the front court. But I'll take Pearl Washington here. And I got to tell you, I understand that Michael Carter-Williams is a really good player and that $1 is not that bad for MCW, but Pearl Washington was really no slouch at the top of the zone either. I guess they weren't even really playing it all the time at that point. Washington was a scorer at that point, and Mr. Basketball, undersized, yeah, 6'2", but and I know this doesn't matter because we're talking about Syracuse here, but a first-round pick, 13th overall for a reason. You think of the moments that he had in the dome. He had the shot midcourt, and he is your floor general. Now, MCW, bit of a liability from the perimeter, and
Yeah,
that's
but
something that,
6'6" and's got the wingspan of a
yeah,
pterodactyl.
he
The
does.
man was an incredible defender, and I'll take that all day at the top of the zone, something that we haven't seen in present day for a very long time. So I'm very happy to be returning to the greatness of the defense of the 2-3 zone with Michael Carter Williams.
The other thing about Washington that you just have to remember, okay, so he scores 16 points per game over 3 seasons at Syracuse. He starts every one of his 95 games in orange, 3-time All Big East. This guy did it for a long time, and he did it at a high level. Just never missed a game, never missed a start, I should say. Double figures, at least 14 and a half points in each of his 3 seasons. That's consistency right there. I know that when Pearl is pounding the rock for my team, we're not going to have a bad night.
All right. Well, let's get on to it, and you'll see why my team is far better than yours.
All right.
Who's your
So
guard?
the shooting guard lineup is at $5 Jerry McNamara, $4 Lawrence Moten. Buddy Boeheim is the $3 two. The
Which could be
$2 two
controversial, but you let us know if that's
be.
recency bias.
The $2 two is Eric Devendorf, and then Andy Routens is the cheapest shooting guard.
Now,
At
I would
$1.
like to put it out there that there are obviously going to be people being like, "You should have made this guy this option." We
Hey, if
could
you
have
disagree,
gone.
then just you don't have to spend all $15.
I just want to put it out there. We could have gone so many
Oh
different
yeah.
ways with each of the $1 options, right? I mean, there are an insane amount of guards that you could have put instead of Michael Carter Williams or Andy Routens. You could have gone a multitude of ways. These are just the guys that we ended up choosing, so don't crucify us for that. But who
Okay.
is your shooting guard, Brad?
So this is the position I had the toughest time with. I'm gonna lean towards Lawrence Moten. I have a gut feeling you're team Moten here too. The funny thing about Moten is that for people like us, the 22, 23-year-olds of the world, I think people forget how good Lawrence Moten was. So Moten plays
He was
4
fantastic.
seasons at
All-time
Syracuse.
leading scorer in Syracuse.
Also, of course, yeah, but in college that could be kind of deceptive because not everyone plays for 4 years, so you kind of whittle down the pool from there. But
The
he
guy
really
could score.
was
That's all it
that
says.
dude, and he could score from every level. And I think the 3-point shooting, people kind of sleep on that. He's a 32% career 3-point shooter. So when I was thinking about it, like my first instinct was Devo because that's value, and he could shoot. Like obviously, Buddy's the best shooter on, well, no, excuse me. Jerry McNamara is the best shooter on this list, obviously, but I thought Devo was still really good and he could give me that value at $2. But then I switched to Moten because I felt like if Washington is really my floor general, then I need a guy who's just going to put the ball in the basket. So I've got at $3 for my point guard, Pearl Washington, and then $4, so I'm $7 in my backcourt, Lawrence Moten.
Lawrence Moten's not a bad pick at all.
No.
Like I said, the guy, and like you said, the guy can flat out score and was a superstar in the Carrier Dome. My shooting guard is Jerry McNamara.
Okay.
That runs me up to $6 now with Michael Carter Williams and Jerry McNamara. See, the thing is now that Carter Williams' inability to score now is out the window. It does not matter because I have the greatest shooter in Syracuse history right next to him. I have the OG Steph Curry from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Jerry McNamara at the 2 guard. Listen, we're going to space the floor, and when you find out who I've got later on, you're going to be like, wow, there is no beating Bones' team. McNamara is going to shoot every shot. Michael Carter Williams might never shoot the basketball. It doesn't really matter.
See, but so I was actually, Jerry McNamara was my least likely to take because I didn't think he was worth the $5. And the reason is because obviously he's the best shooter in Syracuse history. But if I'm going to take a shooter, I'm going to take Buddy at $3. I don't think that.
Well, he's also my team captain.
Okay, yeah, no, I get that. I have
Leader.
a gut feeling. I have a gut feeling that my team captain will be taken care of in the next position. But regardless, and the other thing is, I have Pearl Washington for that. I don't need Jerry McNamara to be my captain. There are other captains on the board, and mine cost $2 less. And plus, Lawrence Moten's a 4-year player,
Yeah, but
all-time
can
leading
yours
scorer.
shoot the lights out from 40 feet away? No, he
No.
can't.
So that's the thing, is that my shooting is not up to snuff with yours, even though you only have one shooter in your backcourt, whereas I have two okay shooters. So okay, the backcourt's taken care of. I'm taking Pearl Washington $3. Now Bones is shopping in the bargain aisle with $1. Michael Carter Williams. He's up to 6 aggregate. His shooting guard is Jerry McNamara at $5, and I'm taking Lawrence Moten, the all-time leading scorer, at $4. Let's take a quick break and talk to you a little bit about BetOnline, because BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports information. Find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcast news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline is where the game starts.
Back to it. Hold on, I'm going to try and do some fancy graphics for the audio or for the video. Did that work? No. Okay. I was trying to get our faces on the screen.
I'm rattled.
Alas. Okay. Well, anyway. All right. So you have currently Pearl Washington, a great choice,
Yep.
for $3. Who I think that's going to be a really popular choice. Pearl being that you could argue undervalued is so valuable. I mean, you can get him for $2 less than Sherman Douglas. Is Sherman Douglas fantastic? Of course he is. Pearl's pretty darn good too.
Because
I've got Michael
Pearl
Carter Williams.
because Pearl's a top 5 player, right? In Syracuse history?
Well, that's a conversation. I mean, if you're already saying that he is the third best guard, Carmelo's better than him. That already makes him, 4? And then Derek Coleman's pretty darn good. There's an conversation for Jerry McNamara.
Pearl is only by default a $3 player. Like, he is the best $3 player on the board. That's indisputable.
No doubt about it. Yeah,
so
no doubt about it.
I like the value there.
Sure, I think it's a good pick. I just think mine's better. All right, on to the small forward. Brad's got Lawrence Moten. I've got Jerry McNamara in the shooting guard spot. The small forward is very interesting. The category, of course, features Carmelo Anthony, the greatest one-and-done basketball player of all time. It also has a lot of other talent. I just don't think you're going to find many lists that don't include Melo. Melo, of course, is the $5 option. You move one below him, you get CJ Fair at the $4, then Preston Shumpert at the $3. $2 offers you Raphael Addison, and then Chris Joseph is your $1 option there. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Chris Josephs. Here, I'm going Carmelo Anthony. I'm going for the 03 duo of Jerry McNamara and Carmelo Anthony, and then you just throw in fantastic defense with Michael Carter Williams. I mean, how could you beat me, Brad? You just cannot.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so I'm going to follow you on Melo, and I'm not going to criticize myself for being a follower either. So here's the thing, though. I was really close to not taking Melo. Like, really, really, really close. The only thing is, I would say this is the most top-heavy position on the board. Easily. After Carmelo Anthony, you have talent for sure. They wouldn't be on this board if they weren't talented. But there is, I mean, think about the drop between CJ Fair and Carmelo Anthony. And you know how much I like CJ Fair. Not as much as you. You're the biggest CJ Fair fan I know. But Fair is the worst $4 player on the board. That's no doubt.
Yeah, I guess he is. But he's so fair. He's my favorite player of all time.
He's great. He's great. But see, I would completely, for the same reason that Pearl's the best $3 player, I got to eliminate CJ Fair off the bat. And then I know that every other team that mine goes up against has Melo. How can you not have Melo? But you know what? I love my scoring now because my first player off the board, my point guard, $3 Pearl Washington, $4 at shooting guard Lawrence Moten, and then $5 Carmelo Anthony. I understand what you're thinking. Brad, you're kind of a free spender to start. I get it, but I like the depth in the positions to come.
Yeah. I mean, how do you not go with Carmelo Anthony? So darn good. But you're totally right. it's an interesting position. I think you could make some cool teams that way if you wanted to go big heavy. Like both of us have obviously decided that it's not going to be the case,
Yeah.
because we have little money going into the last two positions here. But if you want, there's going to be people out there, especially the older generations, who want to see Derek Coleman in their lineups, and I think
Yeah.
that's totally viable. The dude is incredible. So in that case, you probably would still try to go after Melo, but if you wanted some extra shooting or you wanted his old partner in Sherman Douglas, you already used your $5 there, and you're going to want to have to go for a lesser forward.
All right, let's get the front court on the board, and then we might circle back to the explanation here for the small forward, because I think the idea of a Carmelo-less lineup is pretty interesting, and I think has some validity. At least it did in my head before we hit record on this podcast. So the power forward position looking like this: at $5, you're looking at John Wallace, Billy Owens, $4, not to be confused with Chaz, because I don't know what he would cost on this board.
That's his son.
Yeah, Hakeem Warwick, $3,
That's a
and then
scholarship. That's what he costs.
yeah, exactly. It's $75,000. Hakeem Warwick, $3, Demetrius Nichols, $2, and then Lewis Orr, $1. So that's your power forward position. Now, who are you taking?
Before I make my pick, I'm going to try to use some more fancy video magic and try to get our faces on the screen.
Oh,
nope. Now I got Brad. Brutal.
That's brutal for you. The YouTube
up, man?
people are shook. Hi,
The YouTube
how are
people
you?
probably are shook.
How are you? Whoa.
I'm trying to make it work.
This is
we got a lot of options here. Oh, there's something there.
Look at this.
All right.
We're
put
playing
the overlay
with it.
back on.
All
right, we're back. The power forward spot that you already did mention all of them.
I did.
You've got some really good players here.
See,
and again, like people are gonna I think there are gonna be people out there who might chirp the bottom with the $2 and the $1 picks here with Demetrius Nichols and Lewis Orr. You might want to see some other people there, but I think Brad and I went through every single one. Like maybe you want to see Rick Jackson down there, like that's kind of fair. But those two guys, they're really darn good players. So, I mean, even if you want to go for your value picks here, which a lot of the time you're going to, if you go top heavy, like Brad and I both did at the top with, he went Moten and Pearl for his $5. I went Michael Carter and Jerry McNamara. Give me $6 off the bet. I mean, both go Melo. Now you kind of are stuck with a lower end big. Although you don't really have to be, because I'm going to go Hakeem Warwick for $3 here, which obviously then makes me have $1 for the end. So I'll take Rakeem Christmas.
So you're just going 0-3.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Brad.
Yeah,
I took a core of a championship team, added better defense at the top and the bottom, plus scoring from the bottom.
Was chemistry on your mind at all, or it's really just a coincidence?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, listen, this is a team that has a great leader in Jerry McNamara. You've got a young flair in Carmelo, who also happens to be the best player in the nation. And then you've got Hakeem Warwick, who's a high-flying wild card, who's a veteran at this point, too. He's fantastic. So I love all three of those guys. And then you add Michael Carter-Williams at the top for incredible defense. You add Rakeem Christmas at the bottom, who won't be doing it, but has the capability of scoring a near 18 points a game. And he's going to average around 10 rebounds and probably 2.5 blocks at least. So I could not be happier with my team. I think it's going to beat whatever you throw out here, Brad.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So your team is $1 point guard MCW, $5 shooting guard Jerry McNamara, $5 small forward Carmelo Anthony, and then a $2 power forward in
$3.
Excuse me. A $3 power forward in Hakeem Warwick. Okay. So I don't mind the pick. I think it's fine. I would see, now you know the power forwards. It's $5 John Wallace, $4 Billy Owens, $3 Hakeem Warwick, Demetrius Nichols $2, Lewis Orr $1. So now you know the power forwards, and now you see my thought process before, when I, for a brief moment, thought no Carmelo Anthony, because I knew I was gonna spend, and I thought I was going to spend even more in the backcourt. I probably would have taken like a Preston Shumpert, which was nothing wrong with that, and he's not going to embarrass himself, right? Yeah, he's going to score, but I had to have Melo. But I knew that the power forwards are really good, but because they're really good, that also means they're deep. So I don't have to spend, like, I wanted Billy Owens, but I'm not getting Billy Owens, because my team right now, I am $12 in the hole. I have $3 to spend for my entire front court because I have Melo and I have Moten and I have Pearl, and I'm very happy with that. So I'm going with Louis Orr, $1, and I'm fine with the pick. I'm fine with it. Obviously, your $1 pick is different than mine because you're a huge fan. I'm not a hater on Orr. I'm just saying that this is more of a circumstantial pick.
So what are you saying I'm a huge fan of?
You're a huge fan of your $1 pick. I am excited about my $1 pick because it's Louis Orr. Let's not.
So what do you
not
head into the final position with money wise?
So I have $2 left, and I go with the $2 center. We'll get to that in a second. But look, Orr, the thing I like about Orr is that he did it when it counted. An NCAA All Region and All Big East tournament selection. Ended up being a second round pick at 6'8", 175. I think he was a good defender at the wing of the zone, or could be a good defender at the wing of the zone, I should say. So I like it. I'm not juiced about it, but I know that the rest of my team is good enough to quote unquote handle the liability of a $1 player, Louis Orr being the $1 player.
Louis Orr, one of the better $1 players on the board.
For sure. So that's why
if not the best.
I think he is the best $1 player. That's why I was like, you know what? If I'm going to skimp on a position,
probably is.
Shouldn't it be power forward?
I think the center option is close. The centers, that being said, your $5 option is Derek Coleman himself, number 44. The $4 option, Ronnie Cycli. Those guys were teammates for a couple years. And then the $3 option, Roosevelt Bowie. The reason I asked what you had for money is you could have gotten the old pairing back together with Louis Orr and Roosevelt Bowie. That would have been cool. And then the $2 option, Eton Thomas, the all-time Syracuse blocks leader. And then you have Rakeem Christmas at the $1 option. My $1 leaves me with Christmas. Yours leaves you with Eton Thomas. Now, I will say,
pretty similar picks.
Yes, I had a quick... before this we recorded, I was planning on going Demetrius Nichols and Eton Thomas because I wanted Nichols' scoring ability and I wanted the all-time blocks leader. But then I thought about, and Demetrius Nichols, not a lacking athlete at all whatsoever. That's not what I mean when I say this. Hakeem Warwick just jumps out of the gym.
Yeah.
And when you think about the block he had in the national championship game that doesn't get talked about nearly enough, in which he won the game pretty much. Those are the kinds of plays that we need to be seeing, and that's the kind of guy I need on my team. And Rakeem Christmas is no bad consolation prize. I mean, as a $1 option, I think Rakeem is right up there in terms of what we have on the board here. I mean, he can defend the rim incredibly well. That's what he did for 3 seasons. And then he became a really good offensive player.
It's funny you should say that about. I mean, look, I'm not going to hate on Rakeem Christmas. I'm a big fan. There are definitely other ways we could have gone on this $1 option, and when we made the board, like it easily could have been Rick Jackson, and Christmas just couldn't have been on the board.
Could have been Fab Melo.
It could have been Fab Melo for sure. I think he's like the third best $1 option.
I think it's closer than you realize.
All right. I mean, Louis Orr is
really bunched. Louis Orr is very good, but
Chris Joseph, MCW,
fantastic senior season.
He did, but it took him a little while to ramp up. In all fairness, okay, so let's just recap your team real quickly. Okay, so
my team. Here we go.
Go ahead.
I've got Michael Carter Williams at the 1, the best defender we've seen at the top
for
of the
just
zone.
$1.
Then I've got a $5 option in Jerry McNamara, the greatest shooter we've seen in an orange uniform. Then at the 3, I've got Carmelo Anthony, the greatest one-done player of all time. A lot of greatests on my team, Brad. At the 4, that's a $5 option, of course, in Melo. So I've spent $11, and going into the final 2, $4. I go with Hakeem Warwick, incredibly long. He can dunk. He can block. He can do it all. You got to love Hakeem at the 4, an incredible athlete. And then I've got Rakeem Christmas at the 5, arguably the greatest growth we've seen in one season from a player in orange. So I love Rakeem rounding out my squad. I think that's a pretty darn good team.
Yeah, there's a good team. I think a big reason why you like your team is the defensive presence you have in the backcourt with Michael Carter Williams. And I hear you. I take a 6'2" Pearl Washington. You take a 6'6" MCW. I hear what you're saying about.
I don't think you can guard Jerry McNamara.
I mean, anyone can be guarded, right? I mean,
Nope,
eventually. I get it. I
not
get it.
Jerry when he's hot.
I get it. I get it. But Pearl Washington, when he gets hot, I mean,
Is
what are
going
you
to
going to
get
do about
clamped
that?
up by Michael
All right.
Carter Williams.
Well, here's the deal. When
Pterodactyl wings,
someone
Brad.
when someone gets by Pearl Washington, they're not going to score because Eton Thomas is under the rim, and he rounds out my $15 budget as the $2 center. Okay, so no one really has to explain why Eton Thomas is a good pick. All-time blocks leader at Syracuse. And he is a similar pick to Rakeem Christmas because they're just guys who defend and score enough, I feel like. But a
He
three-time
scored
All-Big East
17 and a
selection,
half points per
he
game.
did. But you know what? Thomas scored 14 points in his senior year, and maybe even more importantly, he scored double digits in each of his final 3 seasons at Syracuse. So that's a pretty big deal. Now,
If
the
they asked
size,
Rakeem to do it in sophomore year, he would have done it.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he was
CJ
ready.
Fair was scoring.
But Eton Thomas won't be asked to do much scoring, and I can guarantee Rakeem Christmas wouldn't be asked to do much scoring on your team either. Bottom line is Thomas is a brick wall, 2-time All Big East Big East Defensive Player of the Year. So I'm excited. So my team is at $3, Pearl Washington, the best $3 player on the board. At $4, Lawrence Moten, and I'd say is probably the second best $4 player behind Dave Bing. Neither one of us take Bing.
I don't
$3.
know. Likely's pretty good.
Yeah, I get it. $5, small forward, Carmelo Anthony, had to do it. Power forward, I'm running out of money here. I have $3 for my front court. I go Louis Orr for $1 at my 4, and then my center is at $2 Eton Thomas, and I'm amped because I have, I think, the most athletic 2-3 combo you can ask for in Moten and Mello. Washington
And
is my floor general. I'm excited to have him because he could score at 3 levels, and he's a better shooter than people give him credit for anyway. And then Orr is going to be fine, and Thomas is one of the best defenders in Syracuse history, if not the best. So I'm amped.
well, I'm glad you're amped, Brad,
Good.
because you take all that excitement and you get in the gym with my team and lose. I do want to share that if I were to go the Pearl route, because I think a lot of people are going to go the Pearl route, so I'm going to share my thoughts on that real quick.
All right.
If I were to go the Pearl route, and I'm not, this is not me changing my pick. I'm just sharing another point of view. My second team, maybe. I would have gone Pearl to 3, of course. I would have then gone Andy Routens for $1 to get you a shooter. Then I would have gone Mello. I think I probably. How much money do you have left at that point? Then I have $9, so you have $6 left. I probably would have gone Louis Orr and then Derek Coleman.
Well, it'd be $5.
It would have been
$5 left, right?
Well, no, you
it's
have
6.
3 for Pearl.
Duh.
You
All
have
right,
$6
so it's $6.
left. So then I'd go
So
Louis Orr and then Derek Coleman. So you'd have Pearl Washington and Derek Coleman.
Yeah, and that's how you kind of jerry rig 2
and then you have Pearl players. Washington, Carmelo, and Derek Coleman.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's 2 $5 players and Pearl, who could be a $5 player.
Could be a $5
player stuck behind Sherman Douglas and Dave Bing. I get it.
No, so that's what I would do.
I like it. I actually think it might be better than your team right now. Not gonna lie.
Well, it's not, but
because apparently it can't be. All right,
well, there's just not enough defense in that backcourt. You got to get defense in the backcourt, Brad, if I've learned anything.
Okay. All right. I respect it. All right. So that is our $15 budget team. And we're going to post them on Twitter so you can take a look. I'm Brad Klein. He's Matt Bonaparte. We are done. But again, if you missed it, if you had trouble keeping up, it will be on Twitter. We're also going to put out just the generic board for you to make it yourself. Let us know what your pick is. And also, we're going to put out a poll. Bones' team versus my team. Vote for my team. My team's
Don't
better.
Vote for Brad's team.
Come on, do it.
I showed you right at the end that his team was worse than a team I made up right at the end of the show. You guys know what he's doing.
I don't know about that. So, okay, so we are done here on Locked On Syracuse. We appreciate you making it your first listen every day. Now go ahead and make yet another Locked On podcast your second listen, because the first picks of the Ultimate NBA Mock Draft have been made. Search now for Ultimate NBA Mock Draft and Get over 50 insiders, the Odyssey sports experts, the draft experts of Locked On NBA Big Board. The 5-episode Ultimate NBA Mock Draft is underway. Make Ultimate NBA Mock Draft your second listen today. We will see you tomorrow with more Syracuse basketball talk, and we're going to reveal the results of this poll because, gosh, I am just dying to see by what margin my team beat Bones is in. I'll catch you tomorrow.
A negative margin.